Well, hello, world. I know it's been some time since I've done one of these, a few months or so. So I'm still alive, kicking. Still made it through the whole COVID-19 thing and the virus. Tonight, what I want to do is I want to talk about something that I wrote. Now, those of you that follow my writing on Our Pathway will know what I'm talking about. And it's a dream that I had not too long ago. I'm going to describe the dream briefly and put more information to it because I didn't have that much space on my tablet to write. So this gives me more of a chance to go in depth. The dream starts off with me being in a long, dark hallway. Now behind me is complete darkness and complete abyss. And in front of me I can see something in the distance. So the dark doesn't scare me. It's something I've been living with most of my life. All the bad stuff you can think about in the dark just happens to me. So I'm completely comfortable surrounded by darkness. What scares me the most is what's in front of me because it's a light that I don't understand or don't know what it is. But I walk towards it anyways because I've been in the dark. I'm pretty much done with it. So as I'm walking, I feel fear start trickling down my spine. Don't know why, because I still can't see clearly what this is. So I finally get to it, and all I see is a mirror. It's a plain, ordinary, full-length mirror. Nothing fancy about it at all. And matter of fact, the only thing that was weird about it that there was nothing in the mirror. I couldn't even see my reflection right away. So as I was beginning to turn around, the mirror shimmered and made me stop. And I looked, and there was a reflection in the mirror. I was completely shocked and horrified at what I seen in the mirror because I knew this wasn't me. I seen nothing but evil in this person's eyes, hatred. I seen pain beating in his heart. Everything that you possibly could feel hurt-wise was vibrating off of this individual that was in this mirror. And then I slowly started recognizing that it was me. I was shocked. I couldn't believe that I had become something that I can no longer recognize because of what I've been through life. I've been beat up and spit out so many times, I've turned into something completely different. So I couldn't figure out why. I hit my knees crying. I couldn't hide from it. And then it started to shimmer. It went black and shimmered. And then it started showing me a few things. And it started, if you read on Our Pathway, you know what I'm talking about. My biggest thing about reflections is this, and that's the name I called it, is we reflect an image for so long, we get lost in that image. Regardless if it's good or bad, especially if it's bad. We're so used to putting that image to the world, that reflection to the world, we no longer know what it looks like. And sometimes we forget why we're putting that image out because we hide behind this image for so long because we may have been hurt, we may have went through some things through life, which I have. I'm no stranger to pain and to heartache. And it's just something that we continuously do. Even when we try to change, we still project this reflection. Now at the end, there was I was saying goodbye to the boy that I've been trying to protect, and there was a new reflection that I said I stepped into. No matter what we've been through life, and I always will push this point to anybody that will listen. No matter what you've been through, no matter how hard life has been for you, there's always an option to change. Look at me. I've been in prison for the last 21 years. Now, most people say, they can never change if they're in prison that long. And I'm here to tell you that I am a different man. I have done some horrible things in my life that I'm never proud of, but I've also had some things done to me. And it gave me an outlook on life that completely destroyed how I saw the world, what I went through, how I went through it. I've seen the world through some hateful eyes. And it took the 21 years in here to realize that that's not worth living. That's not a life that I wanted anymore. See, most guys, even in here, and people out there will tell you that, oh, it's so hard to change. It's so difficult. There's something, I just can't get it right. Life just doesn't work. It just doesn't go good. We come up with every excuse of why we can't change, but we never come up with the excuse of why we need to. And that's what's important. We need to hold on to them excuses of why we need to change. See, a lot of us, me included, always tried to change for someone else. And that never works. I'm here to tell you. You have to want to change for yourself. You have to want something better for you. Because the next person can care. They may love you and they may care about you, but in the big grand scheme of things, I promise you that it's not really going to affect them. It might hurt them just a little bit, but it's going to affect you more than it's going to affect them. So you have to want to change for yourself. And that's why that new reflection popped up. Now, I've been in the process of change for 20 years. When I first came to prison, I wasn't interested in changing at all. I was going to do this life bit the way I felt I needed to, because by all means, the state told me to die in prison, so I was going to act that way. I say about 10 years into my prison sentence, I saw something within me. And I looked in that mirror, literally, and didn't like who I saw. And right there, it told me, myself, enough's enough. I no longer want to feel the pain within my heart. I no longer want to see the hate that I see through. I want to feel peace. And that's what happens when you decide to change. When you use that excuse to say, I had enough. It's over with. I need to change my life. And I'm here to tell you it's possible. Now, there's different ways of changing. You just have to find your own path. Sometimes it's help to talk to somebody. Sometimes it's just something that's a line you draw in the sand and say enough's enough. The problem with today's society is we don't hear enough of the success stories about people changing. We always hear about when people mess up. We always hear about when someone goes to prison or when somebody backslid into doing something when they were doing good for so long. But we never hear the success stories about this person stayed clean and sober for years and years and years. This person got out of prison and never went back. But trust and believe, we'll hear about the recidivism when it comes down to it. You have to think why. Well, news works off of not good, not positive, but the bad stuff. So my main point tonight is this. Don't give up on yourself. Always know within you there's a different person. No matter how bad damaged you are within yourself, there's someone new waiting to get out, bursting to get out. But you have to give that person a chance. You have to give that inner person the chance to flourish and get out. In other words, you just keep smothering them by holding them back. I believe that the world's filled with good people. I have to believe that. Not everybody's evil. And you aren't evil. You are just misguided. You are just lost in the darkness that I found myself in. And when I can tell you a convicted murderer that's been in prison for 21 years, has been through a lot of abuse, has abused a lot of people, has been down some dark paths and dark roads, and I tell you tonight that that individual is no longer there. It's not him. I'm a different person. You can be too. But you have to believe in yourself. You have to look at that reflection that you consistently keep putting out there and change it for the better. And then when you get to that long, dark hallway and you see the reflection and then it starts going in your past and you start seeing things and you start wanting to change, and then that new reflection steps up and you don't recognize the person because that's the inner you that you didn't know was there, don't hesitate to step into that reflection. Find peace, find comfort, and most of all, find love. And I will always say this, allow your inner light to shine. Find someone to help you guide if you can't guide yourself out. There's plenty of people, you just got to know who to grab onto. And with that, I appreciate you guys listening to me. I've missed y'all, I missed the world. I promise it won't be another few months before I do another video. and I will talk to you soon. Good night.